back, my lovely listeners. It's your girl Samiha here. I'm so excited you're tuning into the second episode of Young and Unfiltered. If you joined me for the first episode, thank you for coming back. Y'all are the real MVPs. And if you're new here, don't worry, you're jumping in at just the right time. Grab your favorite drink, I have my water, get cozy, and let's dive into today's juicy topic. It's going to be a good one. First of all, I have some important infos to share with you. So I will be posting a story later on, and I need y'all to help me pick a very nice and catchy intro. And I'm counting on you because you'll be the ones who are gonna choose it. And my next podcast. So I'm a little behind schedule. I know. I'm sorry, guys. Now I think that you can actually hear that the sound quality is a little bit better because I got a microphone, and I hope I can buy a better one next time. But for now, we're gonna have to deal with this. So my next podcast, I'm sorry, I don't know if it's gonna be on time because I'm really behind. But it's gonna be a due discussion, and I want you all to choose the topic, and the guest can be any one of you guys. I know many people texted me and asked if they can be a part of the next podcast. And honestly, it just depends on the topic. If we get a nice topic, and then we definitely can do that. And finally, we actually hit 11 or 12 subscribers on YouTube. I know it's a small number, but I'm happy that you're here to support me. And at the same time, I'm still working on the podcast Spotify thing. I'm having trouble logging in with my email. If anyone knows any tips, anything, just tell me, please, because I have been struggling. I did everything they asked, but still not working. Now, let's dive in, guys. So, my first segment is gonna be the pressure to be perfect. And let me just remind you about the episode's title, which is Life as a Girl, Navigating Expectations, Independence, and Self-Discovery. So, this is going to be a life as a girl from a girly perspective, but I think that boys as well can relate to some of the things we're going to be talking about. So first of all, and I actually asked you guys what you want to hear in this podcast, and someone said that they wanted to hear the term or the notion "don't change for others," which I think is very important. Don't change yourself for others. This is we need to talk about this, and if there's any girl that under 15 and she's hearing this, the teenager years from 10 to 15 are the hardest, because this is the period of your life where you discover that people are different from you. You see the difference and you feel it as well, and I think that's the hardest. I remember when I came to this country. I was 12, and I came from a whole different country. And I know already that the transformation from like from an Arab country to a Western one was going to be hard. I knew it, but I didn't realize that it would have been this bad. And the thing is that when I arrived, I was so different. I was really, really different from the people around here. Um, so I got bullied a lot for a lot of things. One of them was my looks, the way I dress, because I was dressing a lot more modest. And yeah, they would just tell me why you dress like that, and many other things about my face, why don't you do your eyebrows. I think some things that were why are you asking me this? I'm just a teenager, I'm 12. Why are you asking me to do my eyebrows? But for them it was very normal at that age, but to me it wasn't. I wasn't raised into doing my eyebrows. And first of all, in my religion, it's not possible, it's haram. I think you already heard this term many times. But yeah, so I can't change anything in my facial because God created me that way. So I never thought about doing my eyebrows. I still don't. But yeah, at that time I didn't know, I couldn't understand, my mind couldn't comprehend why these people were asking me to do my eyebrows. And many other remarks, why don't you do your nails, why don't you do that? Mind you, we're all 12, 13, and to me that was the least of my worries. Like my biggest worry was going to school and being the best. I grew up in like a very competitive environment at primary school, elementary school, and I know that my friends who grew up with me at that stage know this very well. We were very competitive. Like we used to fight each other. And I mean that was very nice because it kind of pushed me into wanting to do better than the others and therefore to be the best version of myself. I also got a lot of great advices. I remember from my old teacher that was also my neighbor that I grew up with. One time she told me, be yourself. She said, don't expect others to show you who you are. Be yourself. And I remember that because that advice, like, kind of made me cry at first. I cried. But then I realized how important it is to just acknowledge that you are yourself. You don't have to look like anyone. You don't have to act like anyone else. And that's very interesting. Like for younger, that was interesting to know. And yeah, I was, like I said, I was very much pressured into trying to look like them, so I was able to fit in. And my first year in middle school, I couldn't fit in. I was too different, and my difference was like very well clear to them that they always excluded me. They were nice people who always tried to put me back in, but I remember that so many of them didn't like me. And I remember this one time, it was like the photo class, and yeah, the photo class day, and I wore like this nice dress. I had like a coat, a fur coat on top. Back then, I thought that was like very good looking, but right now, when I think about it, that was not a very nice and classy clothing style. But I was very happy with myself that day, and I remember I walked past them, and someone said, um, "She's dressed like a dog." I remember I had tears, like I was on the verge of crying, and I just remember how I just wanted like the whole, like I just wanted the earth to break, and so I could like be inside of it, and like I don't know, I just wanted to disappear, like be invisible for once, but that didn't happen. But I actually learned with time to not care. If I hear something that I don't like, I just don't care. Act like I didn't hear anything. And that was much better. And yeah, the way I overcame it is just with time. I let it go. Like at first, I used to cry all the time. I used to go to my uncle's and cry to him, cry. Just I did a lot of crying at that stage. And my uncle always used to tell me, you can never please people. Like you could try, but you would never please them. You can change your looks, change the way you talk, change the way you act, change everything, but you will never be able to change anything about their idea of you. They will never be pleased. If you, even if you act like them, they will never be pleased. And so why would you even like try to please someone who, for who, like that would never be enough? And I just had my peace with it. I cannot make them like me. Why would I like go through the trouble of trying to make someone like me if they're not going to? And with time, I realized that from middle school to high school, those people like became nothing. Like I remember saw them at high school, and they no longer had the same value they had at middle school. And that kind of made me feel better, honestly. But at the same time, I just wish them the best of luck. They should probably think about what they did back then. Sorry, but at the same time, it's good to know that I actually, and you can as well, if you're listening to this and you're under 15, that you can change with time. You can overcome the way you see yourself, and you don't have to be perfect. Just be yourself and don't change for others. Yeah, just accept yourself. I think even if you're 18 or older, you still have problems with accepting yourself, but that's like, it's very important to go through this because when you're gonna be 25, 30, you no longer think that you're not perfect or you will think about changing yourself for others. You're just gonna think that this is you and this is who you are. I think this is how it is. Just accept who you are, and that's better. Like you will love yourself a lot more if you accept yourself, and that's what makes things very interesting. I know. I think this is a great topic for little girls because when we go from 12 to 15, 16, it's the periods when we really like and we really want people to like us. So if you're listening to this, you don't have to try hard. People are gonna like you if they wanna like you, and if they don't wanna like you, then they will never like you. They will always find the smallest of trouble or smallest of error or anything wrong with you to hate you for it. Sometimes I don't even need anything. They can just hate you blindly just for that. Just because they want to hate you, and you can never do anything about it. So girlies, and boys as well. Boys as well. I'm forgetting that I have like some male listeners as well. But don't change yourself. Just be yourself, and it's gonna come with time. And yeah, just don't expect anyone to like you. Like yourself first, and you're gonna see people will like you for who you are, not because you're changing yourself for them. Now let's move past our second segment, because I'm doing this podcast alone, so I will be like talking as if I have like chapters already made up. Only because if it's a discussion, then the podcast will go like flow fluently. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but it's a lot better if it's a discussion. That's why I'm thinking about bringing you guys. I want to hear you guys talk. Let's have like a chat. I'm thinking about doing a live as well. Like we're gonna talk on live. I think that's better, but I just need to find the right platform. It's not easy being a podcaster, but I can't wait for that. I think this is a very nice experience for me. Uh, because I love talking in public. I love speaking in public. I'm very social. But the problem is that I still have panic attacks when there are too many people, and I still have to like work on my eloquence a lot. This is why I am doing this. I'm also doing this for you guys because I know that podcasts are very entertaining, like more than YouTube videos. I'm sorry, but I love podcasts. I could listen to a podcast the whole day, and I do that, in fact. Okay, now going back. Our second segment, which was actually mentioned again in the poll questions I put in on Insta story, boys nowadays. This is like a very very important debate, and what I'm gonna do is we're gonna keep a whole podcast about this. I already have someone in mind. She agreed, guys, and she's gonna be for in a few months in a new podcast with us, and we're gonna talk about this. But I just have to like talk quickly and briefly about this. So I am Muslim, as you know, guys. Uh, and boys nowadays is like a very complicated issue because to me, I don't want to wait for a guy. Like I don't want to go through the Western type of relationships. Um, I want like. And I'm gonna say this bluntly, guys, but I don't want to have a boyfriend. I want to have a husband. And that's like, I don't know, people tell me like you're too young, and I could wait. Like, it's not gonna be now, then I'm gonna wait. Like, inshallah, I'm gonna wait. But I just don't think that relationships nowadays are clean. Like, I feel like I'm a hopeless romantic and kind of a cruel word, you know. I'm always looking for a deep and authentic connection, but I feel like boys are just looking for, you know, looking to pass time actually, and it's hurtful. Like, you can never find someone who's like 100% serious and engaged with you in the whole process. And I see a lot of girlies on Insta, and I promise you guys, this week was. Let's talk about this. How come every time I go on Insta this week, everyone is getting married or everyone is getting engaged or someone is proposing? The whole week I had just this, and I felt so jealous. Honestly, I really wanted someone, just I don't know him, but who I don't know, like come just knock on the door and come propose as well, because how is everyone getting married and I'm not? So yeah, but yeah, this is just gonna make me feel jealous. Why am I not getting married? But from a very spiritual opinion and point of view, it's better to wait, girls. There's nothing wrong with waiting. I know it's hard because at our age we see people having relationships and we're like, I want to have that too. But that's just the temptation. And feel you have to fill it in that emotional void you're feeling. It's going to be my best advice for you. Don't let the emotional Like, don't let the emotional void get too big because you're going to look for it outside. So just get closer to your family, do something that you like. I'm starting this podcast because I am feeling this emotional void, and I don't want to put myself in complicated issues. I don't want to have more issues than I already have, okay? But generally, do something that will make your mind think of something else than that. My own and my very best opinion right now is just wait for marriage and wait for the right person to come. Because, anyways, boys are just gonna be boys and they're just gonna pass time. And if they're not looking for anything serious, then why even engage the conversation so far? You know, if you want me, then I can give you my uncle's address because that's where you're going, honey. But I'm looking for like something genuine, authentic, like deep, real, not just like, I don't know, but a small hometown romance, No, I'm looking for something that's gonna, even if there's no much love at first, but it comes with time. I have like a very nice illustration of love in my family, and that's my uncle and my uncle's wife. And when I look at them, when I see them together, I tell myself this is the type of marriage I want to have. I don't want to be with someone for 5 years and then at the end he's gonna tell me, oh, I met someone new and I think that we shouldn't be with each other. Like, I don't want to go through that. If you want me, then yeah, I could wait for you for like 3, 4 months. But if you're not gonna come knock on the door, then boy, I'm forgetting you. I'm blocking because why should I wait for you? There's absolutely no reason for me to wait. Yeah, that's what I tell myself. But I mean, I saw my uncle and like, okay, when he got married, I was 5, so I don't really remember the whole story, but I've been told about it. My whole family tells me the story, and literally, my uncle, the moment he saw her, he knew he's going to marry her, and so he fell in love. Like, and he just made it happen. He made it possible. He worked on himself and got everything ready for him to get married. And I feel like if a man wants you, then he's gonna do everything so he can have you. So why should I settle for less if my future husband is already working hard for me? Okay? I know I just said something very nice for once. But yeah, like, this is what I'm gonna say. My lesson that I learned hard way is just to wait, because you can't change anything. You're gonna go on dates, you can meet guys, you can talk to guys, but does it change the fact that they're not the right person for you? No. You can have some good experiences, like go on dates, talk to guys, but at the end you're just gonna waste your time. Honestly, it's a waste of time. So just wait at home, cozy, listening to my podcast and drinking your water, girl. And boys as well. I feel like we don't talk about this often, but there are serious guys. There are guys who don't want to be in wrong relationships, and they're waiting as well to meet their perfect partner, but they just don't get much. I don't know, much light, much highlight. No, no. Yeah, they just don't get much attention, or we just don't know about them because they're very like discreet. But I know some of them, and it's great to see that not all guys have this mentality of just using a girl. 'Cause I know a lot of girls, of girls that told me stories about them being like totally used by men and just thrown away. And if you're French, then you probably know Ranelle Brown. Just listen to her, okay? Listen to her stories on life, and you're gonna understand how badly you have to get away from boys and men. Because, yeah, girls, get away. And at the same time, if you're like on the English side of like dating and all that shit, listen to the Wizard List. She has some great advices, and at the same time, you can see that because now she's engaged and it looks like she's happy and healthy. So follow her advices, guys. And for guys, I don't know. I don't listen to any like guy dating coach because I feel like, okay, I'm sorry, but the only one that comes to my mind right now is Andrew Tate, and I know, guys, I know Andrew Tate, but I never listened to him honestly. I just know that he gives like coaching and advices. I'm not gonna say go listen to Andrew Tate, but find yourself someone that talks about these topics bluntly without hiding anything, just to get some type of idea, an opinion about what you should be thinking and what you should be doing at the same time. Now, let's talk about girlhood and growing up. Girlhood is very complicated. Okay, I'm sorry for guys. I know you're probably waiting for me to talk about boyhood as well, but I'm not a boy, and I can only discuss girlhood because that's my journey. And yes, girls. So girlhood is your stage where you go from being just a girl to a girl, and then I think girlhood is something that is very much more complicated because right now I was thinking about it and I was like, girlhood, what is girlhood? I think, I'm sorry, I actually ate some rice and I don't know why it's making me feel this way. It's like I have so much gas going on in my stomach. But no worries, guys. I'm very much alive and I'm not gonna die very soon. But I think girlhood is a lot more complicated than that because girlhood can be the stage from being a little girl to being like a teenage girl and then being a young adult girl. And I know doesn't make sense, but hear me out. I think that it's all these different stages, but girlhood is also this link we have between us girls. I think girl code is like girl code, but girlhood. Because I know that from a girl to a girl, we can just turn into each other and we'll be more compassionate, no, empathetic with each other, and we're gonna help each other out. And I think that's girlhood. But girlhood is also us girls. It's just being a sweet and vulnerable little flower because we all are flowers. You can be very much an independent girl, you can be a very much stronger in anything, but you're still a flower because you're a girl. You have to accept this. We're all flowers and we're all. This is why guys find us interesting. It's because we're flowers. Like bees, they have to produce some honey. And if there's no flowers, then there's no honey. And we make the honey because we have so much value. We don't even understand how much valuable we are. I think if you're religious, you very much know this aspect that your body, your soul, and everything related to you being a girl or a woman is very much important. Because you have to see your body as this sacred temple, and in a sacred temple, people come visit, but nobody can have this temple. You know, it's just that your body is so sacred that people are all going to come to see it. People are going to want to see it. But if it's so valuable, then you're gonna hide it because praise exists. People who will want, like, who are gonna have bad intentions for you are going to exist, and you'll have to protect yourself from people with bad intentions. Best way is in Islam to cover up. But I know all of you are not religious, and I know some of you don't have the same ideology. But think of this like this: you're valuable, you're important, and your body matters to you. And you shouldn't have this idea that your your body is, that it's not valuable. Don't have this. Don't think this way because you are very valuable. If you could be skinny, fat, overweight, all different body types. I'm saying this. Okay, I'm sorry if I'm being a little too cruel, but all body types are beautiful. But if you're a little more overweight, then drink water. It's gonna help because body image is. I'm talking like this. I know, and I'm not trying to hurt anyone, but body image is very important when we're a girl. We think when we obsess a lot about it, and being fit is also important. So let's try to combine body image and body fit, and it brings you to this beautiful thing that you start to see yourself as more fulfilling, as beautiful, and you start liking yourself when you combine the two. And I very much recommend this. Uh, Going on a healthy journey is as much as important as being intelligent. If you're not healthy, then you could be intelligent, you can be beautiful, you can be the baddest of all, but you're not gonna feel great. You're not gonna feel like yourself. So do this for yourself, girls. And I think that as much as girlhood is impossible to define. I realized this with time, but the change of being a little girl to a grown woman now. I'm not grown, okay, but I'm trying to be. I'm trying to act grown. It's just realizing that you're old enough. Like, I'm old enough to get married now. You should get scared. But it's just understanding that you're a woman. You're always going to be vulnerable. You're always going to be sweet. You're always going to be caring because that's how you were created. That's all like natural emotions you have inside of you. And you shouldn't feel bad about anything. Just accept that and be the best version of yourself. And let's go back on talking about how girlhood also impacts our lives, because girlhood is just how easily we can actually link each other. I mean, girlhood is easy friendships. You just meet a girl, you talk to her once, or you have like the same problem, and she becomes instantly your best friend. That's how girlhood works. It's because from a girl to girl, we understand each other, we support each other, and it's very interesting because somehow it only exists with us guys. I know boys have boy code and all that, but girlhood is on a deeper level. It's like we connect with each other. It's like we know and understand fully each other. And it's different type of emotion. Every time I meet a girl, we click instantly. I know it's girlhood. I know that it's the fact that we're both girls and w- we were created to bond instantly. And it's magical. Well, I was going to say wallahi because now it's a common. Guys, I'm Arab and I'm Muslim, so don't expect me to not say wallahi. I refrain from saying it in French because I feel like people look at me like instantly like she's gonna bomb us. But yeah, I made an inside joke. But I always say wallahi like all time, on a no time basis. So yeah, guys, it's going to be this way. I'm sorry. So yeah, be a girl, be yourself, and don't expect for anyone to like don't reduce your value, don't reduce your value. Look at yourself as important, as valuable, as the most sacred temple in the world. See yourself as like a church or a mosque if you want, but yeah, okay, but see yourself as valuable, and as a gem, as a jeweler that shouldn't be wasted on anything. And no, and you have to learn how to cheer yourself because people are not always going to be there to cheer you on. So you have to know, um, try to have this kind of mechanism on how to cheer yourself. Sometimes I know that if I'm down, 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 I just make some myself a comfort meal and that cheers me on, or I just go shopping, cheers me on. Go walking, it cheers me on. Um, buy myself a flower, it cheers me on. Just find yourself like these little small gestures that would just make you feel like because you're a girl and you're definitely gonna like roses, you definitely like the color pink even if you're denying it, but once you see a nice color of pink you'll like it, and you're very much colorful, and you can be also colorless, but you're a girl and you have to accept that these are your girly traits. And girlhood is a very magical thing, and we should be thankful we have that, because from a girl to girl I understand you, you understand me, and I like you and you like me, and I'm always going to be supporting you. Now, everyone is asking me how am I doing on my own? Living alone, student girl edition. Okay. Uh, you know, living alone and being a student is harder than I thought. Okay, in my head, it was going to be easy, small apartments, living my life, eating my meals, doing my homework, going to school, coming back. Oh God, it wasn't. I mean, at the first 2 months, I struggled. First of all, I struggled financially. That I'm going to have a podcast about this. It's important, you guys. You have to wake up before you even get there. I struggled financially very, very hard because also I worked for a whole month and made up money. I wasted it on like 2 weeks, and I was already done with my money. Yeah, I know. Beginner's fault, beginner's mistake. Call it what you want. But I was very not strategic with my money, and um, rent is also expensive, um, and many other things. Okay, but it also comes with great things. It also comes with freedom of just hanging around all day without doing anything on the weekend. If I stay in my own apartment, I don't do anything. I just wake up, eat, study a little, then clean my house, and then go back sleeping. Like I'm relaxed. Or being able to go out. Uh, I'm not saying it's good to go out a lot, but sometimes you just want to go out and grab a coffee with someone, like with your girl, go like, and inspect the magazines in the city, go around in Victoria's Secret and look at the prices, even though you know you can't afford that, but just go out, which isn't something I had in my old village. Um, so I think that just having this freedom is very nice. Was It's a very nice thing just to be able to you know you're on your own, you're independent, and you're doing your best, and that's very important. You have to give yourself credit for that. If you're a girl like me and then you're struggling and you feel lonely, know that thousands and millions of students out there are feeling the same way and having the same struggles, but we can do this for the sake of our studies, for the sake of the millions we're gonna be making later on. We have to go through this, and we're here to support each other. So if anyone needs help someday, or just call me, guys. Just call me. Let's talk. Let's chat. And I'm going to be posting a lot of podcasts. This way you can know that we're all in this together, and we're gonna be helping each other out. We're going to be discussing a lot and just giving each other tips. Because for now, I cannot give you like practical and big tips about managing your independence and your budgeting style, or you know all I can say is it is for you to actually make up before before moving out and all that shit. Everyone in my family were giving me tips about budgeting, financial things. I didn't listen to anything. I didn't hear them. I, I was like, okay, I'm gonna do my best to not fall into this mistake. But I did fall into those. Because you don't expect it. You think you're gonna do better. And then you end up not doing better. I know. So give yourself the chance to do this error and then learn from it. Because somehow you're going to end up with more tips and more, I don't know, you're gonna have experience and you're gonna know how to handle it better the next time. So yes, guys. And if you're looking for a job and you cannot find one, a student job, I'm in the same case. Yeah. So don't feel alone and don't feel like you're rejected, because this is how things are. And it's gonna get better. You're definitely gonna find something, and don't worry, it's gonna come. And the best of times, and then like the good times, it's gonna come. Okay. Someone also talked about the monthly struggle for perfection, suffering of trying to be the best version of yourself every month. Yes. As a girl, we tend to have this obsession over being the best every month. Like every month, I make a brainstorm to I don't sorry. I brainstorm a recap of my last month and think about what I can do better to make up for the errors I made last month. And I realized that every time I'm just trying to be the best version of myself, and it's hard. And I mean, like, girls, why do we have to pressure ourselves this much? Like, okay, you have to learn your from your mistakes and try to do better. But why do we have to seek perfection? You know, we can never be perfect. And if anything, the only thing that's going to be perfect, nothing. See, nothing is going to be perfect, except if you're religious, then it's gonna be God. But anyways, if we can never attain this perfection, then why should we even seek it? Like, okay, we're humans. We're gonna do mistakes. We're not gonna be perfect. Ooh, but we're gonna try our best. Okay, try your best, but don't be obsessed with trying too hard. Okay, if you try too hard, then you're gonna get tired earlier than expected. And you're probably over with your life before you even started. If people are gonna like you again, they're gonna like you for who you are. So you don't have to like obsess about trying to be something you're not, first of all, because trying to be perfect is changing things maybe for the best, and sometimes it's for the worst as well. So don't suffer. Don't make yourself suffer, and don't torture yourself. Give yourself the time to find your own ways by yourself. Actually, don't try to go a little hard on yourself. girls, just take it easy. I'm telling you, if someone is going to like you, then he's going to like you for who you are, not for something you're not. And if someone makes you change, then know that they're not a good match for you or a good person to be friends with. And if they want to change you for the best, then that's a good thing. But if they're trying to change you and make you into someone you're not, then just run away because that's not you. Okay? That's not you. You can be yourself without trying to be every time the best version or I don't know what. Okay? You're the best version already. You just can you can I don't know make it better every time, but you don't have to be perfect. Perfect doesn't exist, okay? And one of my best advices and tips is just giving yourself time to learn your own mistakes and just be able to know that it's easy to actually accept yourself. You just have to accept yourself from deep inside. I know, like it seems hard, but once you reach it, you understand how bad you've been to yourself. Like you make yourself, I don't know, but girls, it's just really easy. We just want ourselves to appear perfect, look perfect, be perfect on all times. We have like this kind of image. I feel like we girls all have this type of image that we portray, and every time we just have to perfect it. This way we never lose this image. But you know, nobody cares. I don't even think that people see that you have this image. I don't think people care, and they don't even notice it. So why do you have to torture and make yourself suffer for something people don't even realize? So stay true, okay? Act like yourself. If you have to change something, then do it for yourself. Never do it for others. And try to nurture um what is going to bring you the good, not the bad. Uh, Learn from your mistakes. That's first. That's an important rule. If you don't learn from your mistakes, then there's not even no need for you to try to be the best version of yourself because you're just gonna keep repeating them. And yeah, don't change for others. I'm saying this. I said it at first, and I'm saying this. Don't change for others. If you wanna change something in yourself, do it for yourself. Okay? Don't do it for others. And let's go to relationships. Okay, I told you guys we're going to have a serious talk about relationships, but let's talk about all types of relationship, friendships, relationships. Um, First of all, always prioritize yourself. Okay, you matter, and that's important. And when it comes to friendships, I think that it's important to know that good friends are gonna find you. Okay, and they're gonna be there and they're gonna support you. And don't get afraid, okay? Don't get afraid of the attention and the love you're gonna get from them. It's normal. That's how friends are. And I think in my whole life, I've always had great friends. And I'm so happy that that happened and that I got to meet amazing friends all the time. But at the same time, stay away from the people that will make you feel bad, will not make you feel like yourself, that will make you hate yourself. It exists. That will make you feel like you're not enough. Get away. Those are not healthy relationships, and those are not healthy people for you. Maybe they're good people, but they're just not the fit for you. So don't get scared. Just be yourself, and it's gonna come around. And for like, I wanna say thank you to all my friends that you've been here for me. You supported me, and you guys actually made of me the person I am today, be it my friends in elementary school or my friends in middle school or my friends in high school and people I met this year that are incredible, and you guys deserve all the best in the world, and thank you, because when you have great relationships and healthy friendships, they nurture you into being the best version of yourself. You learn things from these people, and some of them will actually help you prioritize yourself. This is a small memory of mine, but this one time, me and my friends, we had this school um trip. It's not a trip. We just went for a day, but I remember that we all agreed to go eat outside, and then I'm gonna say this because it actually impacted me so much. We actually going to go eat, and some of the girls like they want to go eat in like in this fast food, and this fast food is like not a halal place, so I couldn't go with them, but I agreed because I was like, let's just go so we can be together, and at the same time, like this way they don't have to like waste time for me or anything. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna go there and eat fries. Now I know that those fries would have been haram as well, but anyways, I remember that I agreed, and one of my friends, she saw that I was not very happy with like the idea, but I was just trying to go along so my friends don't like they don't even have to like to do something they don't want to because of me, and she was like, "Don't just let's go somewhere else. It's not a problem. You can have well you want as well. Like you don't have to always just say yes because you want like you don't want to bother people. Just bother people. It's not important." We went and ate at another place where I could actually eat something for me. And I remember how, like, I felt like at that moment, I felt good. I felt like I was well surrounded. Like, I had good friends. I mean, if someone just helps you fit in, then you know that you actually like won the lottery because you want friends that are going to be with you on the long term, not friends who are just gonna be like a face in your life. But if someone is there for you in one of the I'm not gonna say hard phases of your life, but they guide you and help you realize your mistakes, and at the same time they give you advices. That's the type of friendship I like. And at the same time, I'm also someone who likes to hang out with older people, people like older than me. I like that because I learn a lot from those people, and I advise you to do that as well. If those people have a good influence, of course, okay. Don't go hang around girls who I don't know what they do, but go around girls who actually can teach you something new and something that will benefit you. Okay, don't go around with you know what I'm talking about. Ignore those. But yeah, so relationships, if they're healthy, they can change a lot. The way you see yourself, your image, they can change you and turn you into the best version of yourself. This is why I think relationships for a human are very important. If you don't have like one good relationship in your life, then you're like it's bad. You're like in the worst types of lives. And I'm not trying to be mean or anything, but yeah, your friends are going to mirror your life. I'm saying this because in Arabic we have the saying where we say if we saw you with people for like more than 40 days, then you're part of them. And if your friends are good people and people saw you with them, then they instantly gonna think you're a good one as well. So hang around people that will give you this good image as well as help you in your life, not ones who will destroy your life. That's very important. And about relationships, honestly, I never had a relationship of my own. Like, I never dated anyone. So I cannot help you guys with this. I'm waiting on my husband, in case you didn't understand. But all I can say is if it works for you, if it's healthy for you, just go for it. But prioritize yourself. Always put yourself first. Never the need of others and never others, because at the end you get nothing and you're just gonna be used and thrown away. So if it works for you and you're happy and you're really happy, like you're not just love bombed and all that, go for it and be the best version of yourself alongside that person who makes you happy. And that's it. That's all. Relationships are more complicated to me because I never had one of my own, and I don't think I'm gonna have one soon, if it's not by my husband. No, by a husband, of course, a husband. I'm gonna say this again, a husband. Yeah, I know, guys. You're definitely sick of hearing me say husband today, but okay, you understood. Okay, alright, my lovely listeners. That's a wrap on today's episode. We've unpacked a lot, from the pressure to be perfect and the struggles of girlhood to navigating relationships and learning to live alone as a student. If there's one thing I hope you take away from this, it's to never change for others. and embrace who you are unapologetically. And to end on a powerful note, here's a quote from Little Women by Louisa May Alcott. I'm not afraid of storms, for I am learning how to sail my ship. And let this be your reminder that even in the chaos of life, you have the strength to steer your own journey. I'm gonna drink some water. Don't forget to drink water, okay, girls and boys? Thank you so much for tuning in. If you love this episode, don't forget to share it with your friends and let me know your thoughts. And like I said, guys, you'll be choosing the topic for the next podcast, as well as who will be joining me as a guest. And till next time, stay true to yourself, stay strong, and keep shining. Bye for now.